Hello, welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. Football games aren't on yet. Once that's, into the chase challenges. But I have a little time. But anyway, this is Kavanagh. Whoops, got it out of chronological. I'll explain what I mean chronological order. This is Two Gingers blended Irish whiskey introduced in 2011. Okay. It's aged 4 years. It's from Ireland's Kilbeggan Distillery. Okay. It's only double distilled. And it's was $15.99 at Total Wine and More. This is Kavanagh, finest blended Irish whiskey, product of Ireland. This was $17.99 at Total Wine and More. It is produced by Kilbeggan Distillery. I found that out. And it was introduced in 2013. Imported by Saranti Imports, Stamford, Connecticut. I couldn't find anything about Saranti Imports. I found some other import company there, but they didn't mention this product. It says traditional distillation, which I assume means triple distilled, but I can't say that definitively. It doesn't say that. It just says traditional. But that's the normal way of doing it, triple. So I guess that's probably the case, but I'm not going to say definitively. Distilled, blended, and matured in Ireland. Notice it doesn't say bottled in Ireland. It's probably bottled in the USA. But there it is. I notice on Total Wine right now they have a special running. It says limited time only $16.99. So I could have saved $1. But I didn't know they were going to have a special. Okay. So price point, $1 difference at this time period. Make sure I got the labels right. Yeah, at this time. Now, like I said, that could change, but they're about the same price. Maybe normally Kavanagh is $2 more, $2 or $3 more. We're not talking about much, but let's say $2 more. Let's just be on the safe side. Kavanagh. So we got a Teeling brand that nobody's too familiar with. There are a few video reviews, but not too many. A lot of them for Two Gingers. And a Kilbeggan brand, which is a little bit more well known. And I looked at video reviews. I'm still trying to go through them. It's going to take many days. I mean, because I got other things to do, not just sit here and look at video. But it's going to take some time to get through all that. The Two Gingers is straw. It's very light. If you hold it up to the light, and if it's better light, it's so overcast right now, but it'll look kind of greenish gold, and it kind of has that going right now. I have to wipe this. And the Kavanagh is, they both have a metal cap, similar type bottles with that little bubble neck, skinny bottles. Yeah, that's close enough. And the Kavanagh is just gold. Was I super impressed with either one? I wasn't really super impressed with either one, but I definitely wasn't disappointed. And people tell me, well, Irish whiskey's kind of bland and so forth. But I don't know if it's really bland. It's just that it's a mild and mellow style, which I guess you could say is bland. It's pleasant. To me, it's pleasant. And some people say it's so smooth that it's bland. Maybe I like bland stuff. I don't know. I just, it's not harsh. Not the ones I've had. I've liked every Irish whiskey I've had. Do I like them all equally? No, I don't like them equally. Daryl Macias, cheers to you. Ronald, cheers to you, Daryl. So I don't like them equally, but I like them pretty equally. You know what I'm saying? That exact. But what's my favorite Irish whiskey so far? So far, It's probably Teeling small batch, 92 proof. Bushmills Black is a second, comes in a second, but they're all very nice. I mean, there's not anyone that I've had that I would say that I would denounce and say, don't buy that. That's a waste. Don't buy that. I wouldn't say that about any of them. Okay. I mean, that may happen one day. It just hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it won't. That I run across a dog, you know. So far, so good with Irish whiskey. Same with Scotch. I really can't think of a brand of Scotch I bought that I would say don't buy it. I mean, I bought some pretty low end. I mean, yeah, Highland Mist, that's pretty low end. Been around since 1956 though. It's pleasant. It's just kind of or ultra ordinary, you know. But what do you expect for that price? Price is going up. It used to be $6.49 for a bottle. All right, so this smells like grain, meaning corn, and a lot of bread dough. Yeah. Okay, blended Scotch whiskey, blended Irish whiskey, blended Canadian whiskey, blended American whiskey. Which one do I like the most of those four? That's hard to say. I know which one I like the least. American blended, in the main and for the most part, because they're using an unaged grain spirits generally, and that doesn't help it. But Seagram 7 Crown can do battle with most of these others. You know, it's a solid, but the rest, they're questionable. And then the price isn't any cheaper, so it's like you don't really gain anything, because I could buy straight bourbon for $8.99. And it's going to always pretty much be better than any of those blended American whiskeys I just was talking about, except for Seagram 7 Crown. Like I said, that can hold its own. But I mean, I wouldn't buy American blended whiskey for $8.99 if I could buy straight bourbon for $8.99. I know I wouldn't. It'd be like I would rather buy single malt Scotch generally for the same price as blended. Generally, not always, but generally. Okay, well, let's not get too much caught up in that, because then you'd be all day trying to figure out which is better, what do I like more. This smells similar, but maybe not with as much bread dough. So I'm thinking it might have a higher grain whiskey ratio. Can Irish whiskey be distilled in the U.S. and still be branded as Irish whiskey? Says Craft Beer Tastic. No, it'd be American whiskey. I'm sure you could have something and call it Irish style whiskey. You can get away with that. Let me mix them up again, just to see. Yeah, kind of getting that bread dough. Truthfully, there's not a whole lot of difference in the aroma. It seems to be a difference, but it's not much. Not anything worth talking about. So let's go straight to the taste. All right. This is mainly sweet bread dough, like honey. Okay, sourly honey topped bread. You say you're crazy. I'm not crazy. It tastes like, of course, whiskey. They always taste like sugar water to me. So it's very sweet, sugary, but bread dough, baked bread, not raw dough, baked bread. Yeah. So white bread. No, it's so smooth, you know, but no, not too much like grain spirits, like corn, ethanol type thing. No, no. Well, that's pretty close, but it does seem to have a little bit more grain bite to it, a grainy bite. Now, when I did the first two gingers, two fingers is a tequila. and that's like a pouring method. Like, give me 2 fingers of, the level, so you don't go and drink too much. That's just enough. That much and no more. Okay. Mr. Pauly. Let's see if I can pick up that little peatiness that I got in the first 2 taste challenges and on the solo review with the two gingers. It was a fleeting thing. Now, it wasn't anything profound. It was just like a little clue, It was there and it would disappear. But I caught it twice against Jameson and the Teeling small batch, and I was like, that's it. Can't really say I'm catching it now. Looks like the rain stops. I'll be able to go walking just in a moment. Out of that cold, damp air. Good getting sick weather. Little grain thing. Well, these are very close. I guess I prefer this one over here because I got more of the bread dough, which I'm thinking is bringing in more single malt. Don't know how long Kavanagh's aged. They don't say. Don't really know how many times it's distilled. They say traditional, which I figure is triple, but they don't say really. They don't say. And I don't know really anything. I just know it's made in Ireland by Teeling. Say, well, it's just like a cheap brand that Teeling makes. Oh, yes, that's apparent. Because most Teeling starts at 38 and up, $38 and up. We're talking about they got on special here, $16.99. You say, well, that's not really that. Now, you might be counterpointing me and saying that's not unusual. A lot of these liquor companies make a cheap brand and they try to disassociate themselves from it. Make up an alias name and all. Yes, they do that. I know. It's not bad to do it. And like me and my friend David were thinking, it probably gives them a chance to use that as a dump. Meaning maybe their premium label stuff didn't come out right. Like, this Teeling's is kind of off this time. Just dump it into Kavanagh. They're not going to complain for that low price. You say, well, that sounds bad. It sounds bad, but it isn't bad. Because for the low price, you'd probably be less picky about it. And I know that would probably apply to me too. It's that influence in your head. You're thinking, well, I got it for half the normal price. I'm not going to complain. And that's a good approach since you're dealing with low end. I don't think they're doing that with 2 gingers because that's sort of like got its own website and they're trying to promote it, and they got the brand creator going around doing these interviews all over, and so I think they're probably a little bit more careful. But you never see any promotion for Kavanagh by any means, except like I say, that online thing for Total Wine this week, saying this week $16.99, something like that. But otherwise, you would never see anything for it. Not to say that I never saw anything for 2 gingers because I hadn't, but they're close. So just shop price. With these two, you say, but what if it was 50 cents? I'll just get the one that's 50 cents cheaper. I'll tell you the truth. Definitely lean out hating on them. This got to be the 2 gingers because I just remember it would be remarkably flavorful for the price point. It is, haha. I wasn't picking up that peatiness this time, some reason, but that's because if you do a whiskey against another whiskey and then whiskey A, B, C, D, E, and F versus, it'll make a change. It'll make the control group taste differently every time. Can't explain that, but it will. Can't explain it. So I got it right. 3 out of 3. Kavanagh's pretty good. Some people have theorized that it's just a private label for Total Wine. That's possible. Owned by Teeling. Check the trademark data. Trademark's owned by Teeling, but that wouldn't matter much. You just make a contract and say, well, we'll make this special blend for you, and you can sell it in your stores, and we'll just keep it going. They do that with Trader Joe's beers, like drive-through red ale. It's made by a big brewing company, but it's only sold at Trader Joe's. I got the Jethro T. Boots bourbon, straight bourbon too, Kentucky Sour Mash straight bourbon, actually for $8.99 if you're part of CVS loyalty program, which I am, since it doesn't cost any money. I know they got to send you emails sometimes, but that's very rare. They rarely bug me. They rarely bother me with that, so it's worth it. Yeah, and it says on the back of the bottle, is a little sticker. This product should only be sold at CVS Pharmacy. So you got it. But I'm not too sure about Kavanagh. I'm thinking that there's a very good chance that it's a private label for Total Wine. But it seems like every time I say that, I go somewhere else and see the stuff somewhere else. And that is like, what? Like Grand Legacy. Now I'm thinking Grand Legacy, that is a CVS Pharmacy brand, because if you go to CVS Pharmacy, they got Grand Legacy rum, gold and white, Grand Legacy Canadian blended whiskey, Grand Legacy Scotch, I think, but they didn't have it last time I went, and all of these. But then I was at Star yesterday. I passed by Star yesterday. Didn't just pass by. I actually went to it. I shouldn't use that kind of speaking. And I looked down there. I said, oh, Grand Legacy rum. I said, this is not, no, it's the tequila, because they make that too. I said, this is not CVS Pharmacy. So yeah, you got to watch sometimes when you think it is, it isn't. Like Bandolero, I was convinced. I said, I know unless Star is getting it illicitly. But how are you going to do that? It's got to come from a distributor, which means the distributor is in on it. I guess anything's possible. The people don't always follow the law, right? But Bandolero, there it is, Bandolero. I said, oh yeah, that's a CVS. I mean, that's a Albertsons brand. That's Albertsons only. Yep. But I went to Star yesterday. There's Bandolero. I bought 2 bottles from Star because it was cheaper than Albertsons. I said, well, how can it be a private label if it's at Star? And I've seen Bandolero at Savannah Discount, so it can't be what I was thinking. Same thing with Caliber. I don't know, but I think something funny might be going on. Or maybe like Walmart owns Caliber's trademark and they lease it out to people. That's why I'm seeing Caliber at other stores, Caliber Liquors. Walmart might say, we don't care, let them sell it as long as we get our cut. I don't know. I don't work for a distributor, but I know what I see in the store. Okay. Good afternoon, Ron. Hope you're doing good today. Mr. Amazing says, I am doing well, quite well. Except I don't like this cold, damp weather, honestly, but I'm about to go out in it. Alex the Beer Master. Oh, you were watching Style Sunday this morning. That was a good one, huh? Hey, Ron, appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Alex. Don't forget, hoping to one day hang out with you again in person. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I would like to do that. You got to come to Louisiana and you can see all the Huey Long monuments at the state capitol, see? And take a ride over the Huey P. Long Bridge in New Orleans, and then take a ride over the Huey P. Long Bridge in Baton Rouge. You got 2 of them. Anyway, well, that's it. So the winner is, there is no winner. Not really. I give a slight edge to, like I said, 2 gingers, but it isn't really much of a victory. So we'll see what happens down the road with 2 gingers versus got Patty's. I got Drumcastle. I've got Bushmills, red, white, red, and black. Oh yeah, I got a lot of them. I got a lot of stuff. I can't remember them all. I don't need to remember them all. Just know I got them and they're coming out. All right. Take care, everybody.